Sometimes the best experiences begin with a decision you almost hesitate to make. For me, that was hiking the Milford Track. 5 days, one backpack, and a trail that would change everything. It started with a flight from Auckland to Queenstown, a small town surrounded by snow-dusted mountains and ice-blue lakes. We had just one day to rest, explore, and mentally prepare because the next morning the real adventure began. Early the next morning, we took a bus that would take us far from the city and into the nature, to the beginning of the Milford Track. We were part of a group organized by Ultimate Hikes, a company that makes it possible to walk this legendary trail without having to carry everything on your back or to sleep in a tent. There were about 40 of us. We met people from Japan, Taiwan, New York, Colorado, Australia, and many other countries. And very quickly, it started to feel like we were all in this together. Before the hike, you are given a very clear list of what to pack, and it's not just a suggestion, it's essential. Because the Milford Track passes through mountains, valleys, rainforests, and open alpine landscapes, and the weather can change in an instant, from warm sun to cold rain or even snow. You need to be prepared for it all. A waterproof jacket, thermal layers, merino wool tops, quick dry clothes, gloves, warm hats, solid hiking boots that are already broken in. You carry only the basics, just enough for the 5-day trip. Every morning we would wake up early, around 5:50, pack our things, have breakfast, prepare our lunch, and head out with our small group. Every day we headed out at around 7:30. We were walking through thick green forests, crossing rivers on long swing bridges, and stopping by amazing waterfalls. The Milford Track is one of New Zealand's greatest walks, and is often described as one of the most beautiful hikes in the world. And what I love about New Zealand overall is that nothing poisonous lives here, So at least you can enjoy the nature without fear of being poisoned by some snake or spider. The hike stretches over 53 kilometers, it's about 33 miles, and it is done over 5 days, though only 3 of those involve full-day hikes. It begins deep in the rainforests at Glade Wharf, and it finishes in the stunning fjord of Milford Sound. The highest point of the hike is Macintosh Pass, standing at 1.154 meters above sea level, and reaching that point feels like touching the clouds. And while you're enjoying my hiking and pictures of nature, I will mention a few facts about Milford Sound that I find very interesting. So first of all, some trees are over 1,000 years old. So you're walking through ancient beech forests that have stood here long since before humans ever arrived. The thick moss that covers everything isn't just beautiful, it keeps the ecosystem moist and alive, even during the dry days. And here you can see our lunch stop. It was around 12 or 1 p.m. Early in the morning, we were to make ourselves a lunch. It was a sandwich or a wrap. I usually did 1 tuna sandwich and 1 chicken wrap. And we ate it while sitting in this hut.
Yeah, go put your pet down and come back.
Our staff prepared hot drinks. It was hot chocolate or tea. I always drank my electrolytes. And we had like 30 minutes of chatting, and then we continued our hike.
Beautiful spot, lovely just to soak your feet in if you don't want to fully.
Funny that you are never more than a few kilometers from rain. The reason is that Fiordland gets rain over 200 days a year. That means that even if the sun is shining now, somewhere nearby, possibly just behind the right ridge, it's pouring. This constant moisture is what feeds the moss, the waterfalls, and those icy blue rivers. One of the most unique things about New Zealand is that there are no native mammals in New Zealand's forests. Before humans arrived, New Zealand had only birds. No bears, no deers, no squirrels. So when you walk here, you're experiencing a forest that evolved completely without predators on land.
No.
And what most impressed me is that the rivers and lakes are so clear, they look almost fake. Some of the water here is so pure, it barely bends light, meaning you can see straight to the bottom. But fun fact, the dark brown tea color you'll sometimes see comes from tannins in the leaves, not the pollution. It was such a hot day that our team just couldn't resist stopping and swimming in this amazing waterfall. At the end of each day, we arrived at a lodge, and it always felt like such a reward. We didn't have to think about cooking or setting up, just about resting, recovering, and getting the beauty of the day sinking. We would have some delicious warm dinner and go back to our rooms because the electricity was turning off exactly at 10 p.m. every night. Milford Sound was one part of the ocean floor. Millions of years ago, this whole area was under the sea, so technically, you're walking on what used to be the bottom of an ancient ocean. And bonus fact for my girls who love romantasy, the author Sarah Jessica Maas, known best for the ACOTAR series, said that the forests of New Zealand helped her inspire the setting of the book A Court of Silver Flames. So if parts of this hike feel like they're straight for a fantasy novel, they kind of are. I was imagining myself as Nesta or Feyre, so it really inspired me to keep going. On the road, we usually had 2 stops to fill our bottles with water and to go to the toilet. Yes, there were special places where you can go to the toilet. The hardest and most unforgettable part was the second day and the hike crossing Macintosh Pass. The climb was long, sometimes cold, sometimes too hot, and we had like 14 zigzags in rocks up the hill. When we finally reached the top, it was worth it. We had lunch in the hut and then in 30 minutes we continued our journey down the hill. And it was the hardest part, especially for older people who suffer with the pain in their knees. And also while walking down the hill, we put our camera in the backpack because it was too heavy and my fiance carried a backpack around 12 kilos. So you can't even understand how hard it was for us, but we managed to do it.
Kilometers and 100 meters.
But you could come and
For me, one of the best parts of the whole experiences was the people we met. It's rare to be surrounded by so many strangers who quickly start to feel like old friends. I enjoyed meeting many people and hearing their stories, and fun fact, most of them were already retired and hiking was their way of life. And it actually inspires you to face the challenges of this hike and do it, because if a person in 50-year-old can do it, so can I. As you walk the Milford Track, you'll pass stones where early European explorers carved their names and dates into the rock using only hand tools. Long before tourism, people had to literally chip their way through the wilderness, creating paths and folding rivers. These names are still there, weathered but visible like whispers from the past.
my health insurance choice.
This was, without a doubt, one of the most meaningful experiences of my life, because there were moments, many moments, when I thought my body had reached its limit. That simple act of continuing when it would have been easier to stop changed something in me and changed how I see my daily life. It reminded me that we are almost always capable of more than we think, and that the reward for pushing through discomfort is something no one can take from you.
This one should hit as well on the way. Okay, so take you guys on over. Yeah, no, you can always just jump up and
Wow.
By the way, this is the wool washing machine that we used every night to wash our merino wool clothes that would dry overnight.
The ghetto stick is coming.
Good morning, folks, and welcome aboard the van for our cruise this morning on the ship's morning.
and or announcement on the PA. This will be an indication to meet at the muster station. Muster station for the vessel on any of the decks. And then you have a hand free to hang on at all times, particularly going up and down the stairway. Brooke, she makes a whole lot of stuff. She can even go down to my it's the big floor right too. Oh wow, fantastic.
If you are ever wondering whether to do Milford Track, let this be your sign. It's not just a hike through beautiful nature, it's a journey into the wild places, deep conversations, quiet strands, and the kind of beauty that doesn't fade away. And somewhere in the middle of the mountains, you just find something new, not just around you, but within you.